to Mix Up with Myia Dominique. Tonight we're doing something super simple, super easy. We're doing smothered chicken and rice. I'm gonna add a few potatoes and we're gonna do some biscuits on the side. This meal is super easy. It shouldn't really take long, and it's one of those meals you could do like during the summer or you could do during the fall months, and it's still gonna give what it's supposed to give. Flavor's gonna still hit. So let's go ahead and get into the mix up tonight. But at first, y'all know your girl gotta get a drink before we get started to get her through the episode. So let's do it. So here we have our small or medium-sized pot. We're going to put some water in there, and then we're going to add a half a stick of butter, and we're going to get a little salt and put it in there for it to boil. This is what we're going to use for our rice. Then we're going to throw in our rice and get our rice going. With rice, guys, cook it on low. I cook mine on low, and I cover my pot so that the rice cooks all the way through, but you definitely don't want it to burn. The salt and the butter just kind of softens it up and gives it, you know, a little flavor without having it too much. The rice I use is Uncle Ben's rice. It's not in the actual container because I put it in like my little plastic containers when I come home from grocery shopping. But yes, that is the rice that I use. You can't go wrong with Uncle Ben's. It is the best rice to use, especially when cooking, and it cooks well. It cooks well. So we're going to cover that pot again, y'all, and then we're going to let this rice do what it do, okay? So now that we have our rice going, we're going to cut up some chicken. Now, I got the thin sliced chicken breasts. I think that's what they call. And we just going to cut them up real small because they eventually going to kind of come apart anyway when we put them in the skillet. But we want them small and smaller chunks because it's going to be like put in the meat. This is my first time making smothered chicken this way. So, again, we doing this together, but I'm thinking it's gonna come out fine. So I'm not really worried about that. So, funny thing while I'm cutting up chicken, story time. When I first started making smothered chicken, I made it the wrong way, y'all. The flour, I put too much flour in the skillet. It was so nasty. Y'all, it was so nasty. I can't remember like fully, you know, like what I had did, but I knew I had seasoned the chicken and I knew the chicken had cooked or whatever. And I was thinking like, you know, okay, I had did everything right. Y'all, that chicken was all right, but it was so nasty because it was so floury. Like, you could taste the flour. It was disgusting. I was like, oh, no, sis, we ain't going to be able to do this one. We are not going to be able to do this one. So, your girl ain't always been the best cook. However, I do try to do stuff different. I'm not making a big portion of this because it's only going to be me, my baby, and my guy eating. So, I don't need no big portions. I'll cook this whole meal and won't even eat probably half of it. Chicken is one of my favorite things to make, so it's pretty easy. But yeah, smothered chicken, I have come a long way. Trust me, because it ain't always look the way y'all see it on the internet, because sis used to not have it together. But that's the great thing about cooking. You experience and you kind of learn different ways to make things and different ways to, you know, go about doing things. So I like that. So I'm going to sit our cutting board not nice to the side because we're going to rinse that in a minute. We got to cut up bell peppers and onions. So this ain't a whole lot of chicken, but it's enough. So I'm going to season this up. We're going to go in with some soy bay. I'm opening the big side, y'all. Going in with some soy bay. Mix it around a little bit. I didn't put no olive oil on the chicken this time because I'm going to actually cook it in olive oil. So when I go put it in the skillet, it's going to be in olive oil. So there's no need to make it twice. Going with you some Cajun seasoning. And then we're going to do some seasoned pepper. Seasoned pepper, loving that. Told y'all this is one of my favorite seasonings. I'm loving it. So after we go in with our Cajun seasoning, our seasoned pepper, I'm going to do a little onion powder. Just a tinge, because we're going to have onions in there. So we don't need a whole lot. So I'm going to get a little onion powder, a little parsley flakes. Now, parsley is really for color. Who really know what parsley tastes like? I ain't think so. We're going to go in with a little meat tenderizer, a little black pepper, and then, of course, y'all know I love my cowboy seasoning. I just love this roasted garlic cowboy seasoning. It's the best. Like, I know it's for barbecue, but it tastes good on everything. I wish I could make me a seasoning that's like similar to that. So yeah, once we get our seasonings on our chicken real good, your seasoning should really marinate in your chicken, because once that olive oil hit it, it's gonna stay. Chicken, real seasoned. Y'all see it. Then we're gonna go put it on in the skillet. When we put it on in the skillet, we are going to cover it so that it can simmer. We want our chicken to kind of fall apart a little bit, because we want it to kind of like, I don't know, break up to make a little pasty gravy type thing. So we want it to break up a little bit. So let's go ahead and get it to the skillet. Our chicken is seasoned and we're ready to get it cooked up. So we have some olive oil. We're going to put it in our large skillet and we're going to heat it up on about medium. I would say between medium and low. And then we're going to let that go for a little while and let it get nice and warm. And then we're going to pour our chicken in. Now with the chicken, we want to use a spoon or spatula, whatever you use, your cooking utensil, to kind of mix it around, because chicken sticks together once it's seasoned. And with olive oil already on it and then we're putting it in there, it's going to stick. So we want to separate it so that all our chicken cooks, because we're going to break this down and kind of chop it a little bit, because once we make our gravy sauce with it, we want the chicken to be super tender and super small in those gravy pieces or gravy spoons full, so that we don't have large pieces of chicken. We don't want to eat no large pieces of chicken. Cover it up, you all, so that it can simmer really good, and then we're gonna get this thing moving. Let that chicken cook and do what it do. So guys, I do have these biscuits. I had made breakfast maybe like 3 days ago, and I don't believe in wasting food, so I'll put them up. I'm going to dump these bad boys in the oven. The oven is definitely on 350. I'm going to put them in the oven, let these bad boys bake, and we'll have biscuits on the side. So I explained to you all, this is my first time making this dish this way. Not smothered chicken, but this way. So I thought I would add some potatoes into the mix. And then I'm going to have chicken thighs as my big chicken. So I'm going to make like a chicken gravy sauce with the chicken that you just saw me cut up. But the chicken thigh is going to be the actual chicken on the rice. So with these potatoes, I'm going to cut up maybe about 6 to 10 of them. And I'm just going to throw these in the skillet as well. I'm going to throw these in first. Before I throw in the bell peppers, I'm going to rinse them off. And I'm going to throw these in the skillet with the chicken first, because the chicken that I'm actually going to cook the chicken thighs in is going to be different. So as I cut these up, these are like the little golden potatoes. I'm going to take them, rinse them off real quick, and then we're going to throw them in the skillet so they can get soft as well. Okay? So let's rinse. And I'll probably season them up just a tinge. Just a tinge. Nothing too much. Probably just a little soy bay, a little Cajun, and a little seasoned pepper. And that'll be good, because it don't need too much. a little Cajun, and a little seasoned pepper. And we good to go. We're gonna make sure it's everywhere. Mix it, mix it, mix it. Get it all everywhere. And then we're gonna go and get these in the skillet. Our potatoes are now seasoned and cut. So we're gonna throw them in that skillet with our chicken, and everything is looking good, you all. This is how it should look. You should have a little grease. You want that grease because we need that grease in order to make the rest of the gravy sauce or give it that smothered texture. So don't look at it and be like, oh, all that stuff in the pot. No, it's fine. So we're gonna cover it back up and let that simmer so our potatoes can soften. So we got everything going. We got our chicken going. Now I'm gonna cut up some bell peppers, some onions, and then we'll throw these in the pan. So we got everything going. Everything is cooking. It's smelling good. We looking good. So now I'm gonna cut up some bell peppers, some onions, not too many onions. And then we'll throw those in there with our potatoes and chicken so we can get our gravy going for our smothered type of texture. I told y'all I was ratchet, and I told y'all I'll be drinking. That's just that. So with that being said, I'm about to cut me on some music so your girl can get to it. And I'm going to throw these in there, and then I'm going to show y'all where we at after that. We pretty much almost done. It's really nothing left to do but to check on our biscuits and make sure those don't burn. And then to season up our chicken thighs and cook those. Chicken thighs take almost, 25 minutes to cook at the most. My oven, y'all, is high, so it's going to cook quickly. Trust me. So I'm going to cut up the bell peppers, the onions. I'm going to start with the onions. Y'all know I rinse them off with some cold water so that I don't be crying. And by the way, my makeup looks really, really good in this camera. So, you know the onions didn't have your girl crying that bad. But they did have my eyes running just a bit. But again, y'all know I be vibing and turned up in the kitchen while I cook. And then I'm going to go in and do the bell peppers. Now, I chopped enough because I felt like I wanted you to have some in every scoop, if that makes sense. Like, y'all ever taste somebody's food and then they don't have enough bell peppers and onions? Like, dang, I could use another onion. I could use another bell pepper with this piece of chicken. That's why I don't want y'all to be doing with my food. So that's why I made sure I had enough of the onions and the bell peppers. Now, the bell peppers, those are easy to cook. Bell peppers are super, super easy to chop. It's really not one of those things where you should have a hard time. Chop them up, move them to the side, let's get it. My bell peppers, small sections, just like the onions. They don't have to be too big, but not too small because you don't want no little bitty pieces either. So my bell peppers and onions are nice and chopped. They should be thin, guys. None big. You don't want no big chunks in your smothered chicken. So now that we're getting this done, we're going to go back over to the stove because I have to take that meat and those potatoes out so we can sprinkle some flour in there and get our gravy going. Now, I add a little cream of chicken in mine and a little cream of chicken and soup just to give it a little bit extra flavor, but nothing too much. So I'm going to show y'all how I do it in a minute. Now that it's time to make the gravy, that oil that we had from our chicken and potatoes being cooked, we're going to use that. We're going to heat it on low, and we're going to add a little all-purpose flour, guys. Some people season it. I don't because it's already a lot of flavor in that oil, and I don't want it too salty. But you're going to add a little bit of flour. Now, a lot of people would add more flour. Me, myself, personally, I'm not going to add any more flour. The next thing I'm going to add is cream of chicken and some chicken noodle soup juice. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but that is my secret ingredient. I do not use the cream of chicken or the chicken broth. I use the chicken noodle soup juice as well as cream of chicken with my flour and my grease to make my own personal good delicious gravy for smothered chicken. Now, with that, it's gonna build up. It's going to cook and it's going to look a little kunky and all fat and nasty, crazy looking. I don't even know if kunky is a word, but whatever. You're gonna mix it up, y'all. Mix it up while it's on that heat, because you're going to need it to thin out, but you want it to be thick going in. You can thin it out always, but you need it thick, because who wants some thin gravy? Like, ugh, ain't no thin gravy giving no flavor. It's not giving if it's thin. So if it's thick like that, you doing what you're supposed to be doing. So your gravy should be looking good, y'all. Again, stir, stir, stir over that heat. Keep it on low. Me, myself, personally, I don't go nothing past medium. So go get them bell peppers and onions and add them in there. We need some flavor to it now, because now we looking good. It's smelling good. The kitchen is giving what it's supposed to give. And now we going to toss in those potatoes and that chicken. Chop the chicken if you want to. I like a few whole pieces. I don't care for it all to be chopped, but I definitely like a few whole pieces in there. Potatoes looking good in there with that gravy. Mix it all around, y'all, so everything can taste delicious. Everything can be just seasoned on all sides. You want flavors on all bites that you take. Y'all see I'm mixing it around, trying to make sure. So of course we're gonna cover that back up so it can simmer, and we're gonna move forward. So we are at the last part. Our smothered chicken piece is pretty much done. It's simmering now. Our rice is done. Our biscuits are done. So we just want to pan fry or pan saute these chicken thighs. We want to cook them all the way through. We can put them all in one skillet. It'll be super, super easy, super, super quick. So we literally are gonna cook it in what we simmered and did our smothered chicken in. So before we do anything, we're gonna get a little olive oil, as we normally do. We're gonna season it. Well, season it, but not right this instant. We're gonna get this olive oil in there and get it going so that our seasonings can stick. We literally gonna go in with the same seasonings, y'all. None too major, nothing too extra, nothing that we normally do not do. Our same seasonings, we gonna go in with them and get these chicken thighs seasoned up. Y'all know I'm a thigh girl, so I always use chicken thighs when I'm doing like a main chicken dish, because chicken thighs hold a lot of flavor and they don't have a whole lot of fat. Now this particular one has a lot of fat. I ain't really feeling that, but we'll work through that piece. So I'm about to go in with my seasonings. As you all know, I'm gonna season to perfection. But while I season, your girl gotta hear her tunes. I love vibing to music. YouTube be tripping and be taking the copyrights when you be having music in the background. Like, I want all my videos monetized. But nah, y'all, so let's go ahead and get into it. Season up our chicken thighs so we could get done and get to the final meal. I'm super, super excited because this is my first time doing it, and I can't wait to see Boo's face and see what he got to say. Okay? So I'm seasoning my meat with the normal seasonings that I would use. Nothing too major. Old Bay, some Cajun seasoning, some meat tenderizers, some roasted garlic seasoning. Who knows? Whatever you see, season it up. Get that meat seasoned so that you can get some flavor. So I'm done seasoning our chicken thighs. We're going to get those in the skillet. Let those cook for about 15-20 minutes. While those cook, I'm going to clean up, tidy things up, and start plating so we can get this thing going, because the mixed up is going up tonight. But these chicken thighs look good, y'all. I season. Y'all know my meat be looking scrumptious, whatever. So we going in again with that olive oil in the skillet. Again, we did not clean the skillet. We want all the flavors from us cooking. So now that we add the olive oil in there, we're going to get our skillet on about medium. And then we're going to throw those chicken thighs in there. We're going to cook them well on both sides. I let them cook on one side for maybe about 15 to 20 minutes. And then on the other side for maybe about 5 to 10. Because it's pretty much already cooked pretty much all the way through at that point, but you still want to have it brown. And I just dump all the seasoning and the juices on there because taste it all, get the flavors, inhale it, smell it, because y'all, it was already smelling good before it even fully cooked in the skillet. So I'm already knowing with the bell peppers and onion on it, what it's gonna give what it's supposed to give. When I say good, scrumptious, I already know it's gonna be good. I know my food, so I'm not even worried about it. I'm just looking at it right now, and it's giving what it's supposed to give. It's looking like it needs to be ate up. So cover that skillet, y'all, and let it cook. Now that our chicken thighs are cooking, they're simmering, they're getting the flavors in, we just gonna start plating. I'm getting those biscuits on the plate. I'm scooping some rice on the plate so we can have Boo taste this food, because I am excited about this meal. I know I done said that about 15 times, but hell, here goes 16. I am excited. Because when you try something new and it turns out good, you be feeling like, oh yeah, I done took over the world. So I'm ready for him to be like, yes, 10 out of 10. All right. Okay, baby, smothered chicken.
What's this green stuff?
Bell peppers. Good.
Tell me how to eat. I'm good.
Out of 10.
If you make something I don't like it, I'm gonna tell you it's bad too. It's good.
All right, you all. So y'all heard my boo. The food was good. 10 out of 10. Smothered chicken the first time this way. Definitely, it wasn't really hard for me. It wasn't a challenge, so I'm hoping that it won't be a challenge for you all. I'm hoping I gave you the great recipe that you need, some great directions to get this meal done. It's definitely easy. It's a super small meal, but it's definitely filling. Rice is one of those things that kind of fills you up. So guys, that is all tonight for the mix up. I will see you all next week, but like this video in the meantime, comment if you will, subscribe if you have not, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. I'll see y'all next week.